49ers safety Chris Culliver apologized Thursday after saying a gay teammate would not be welcome in his team's locker room. The controversy has also been an open topic among some members of the Ravens. Jim Axelrod is with us this morning. Jim, good morning.
Well, good morning. Good to be here. You know, Culliver's remarks may have come as little surprise to people who have a certain image of the hyper-macho alpha male world of professional football. Not exactly known for being on the cutting edge of social change. But that image is outdated, judging from the way the issue was handled this season in the locker room of the 49ers' opponents.
Baltimore Ravens linebacker Brendan Ayanbadejo and center Matt Burke have been teammates the last 4 seasons, united on the field.
We're here to uplift each other, we're here to love each other, we're out here to get this ring and win a Super Bowl.
Off the field, well, that's a much different story.
Brendan and I couldn't disagree more on that issue.
That issue is same-sex marriage. Both men are straight. Both have children. Ayanbadejo supports the idea.
Now it's time for gay rights, and we're going to get that straight.
Burke does not.
I believe that marriage should be between one man and one woman.
Join me.
Last fall, when Maryland had a gay marriage referendum on the ballot,
we don't need to redefine marriage.
Both decided to speak out.
I support marriage for gay and lesbian couples.
They agree the way they disagreed, civilly and rationally, kept the issue from being divisive in the locker room.
I don't know if people are surprised that because we're football players that we could have a civilized discussion or a civilized disagreement, but that's just the way it worked out.
Ayanbadejo goes further, that simply having the debate at all illuminates a change being felt league-wide.
Is your generation of football player different than the generation or two that came before when it comes to human rights?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, the young guys now coming into the NFL are a lot more open-minded, a lot more progressive, and it's an idea of where we're going as a nation.
So this isn't your father's NFL?
No, not anymore.
Minnesota Vikings punter Chris Culliver is married, has 2 kids, and is the NFL's most outspoken proponent of same-sex marriage.
I think it's the same struggle that we've had with segregation, with slavery, with suffrage, you know, all the civil rights struggles where one group is trying to tell another group how to live their life.
Has anybody come up to you and said, why don't you keep your mouth shut?
Nope, haven't had that. It's been very respectful, and I think part of that also comes down to the fact that guys in the locker room realize that we are there to win football games. At the end of the day, I don't get paid for making political statements. I get paid to punt.
Culliver's experience is welcome news to John Amici.
I think now what we are seeing is a new strident set of young people, young athletes, who are saying, you know what, it's not enough. It's not enough to be neutral. At some point, as a person of great power and influence, as an athlete, you either stand for equality or you don't.
4 years after retiring from professional basketball, Amici became the first player to publicly come out. While the Culliver's and Ayanbadejos leave him hopeful about changing attitudes in the world of pro sports, the pace of change keeps his optimism guarded.
I think a decade ago, there were serious conversations about race happening in locker rooms in the NBA. Homophobia, not so much.
Are we seeing the beginning of a new era where athletes will begin to be more vocal about social issues?
I would like to believe that it's true. Unfortunately, the fact that we can talk about Chris Culliver, the fact that his name is not drowned in a list of heroes, shows that we aren't there yet. Because where are the rest of them? If you're interested in social justice, you can't pick and choose which parts of social justice interest you.
Amici points to athletes of past generations, Muhammad Ali, Curt Flood, Billie Jean King, athletes who took stands on social issues, and says we've been missing something. Champions on the field speaking loudly about social issues off of it.
But as your last question to him suggested, the fact that they're talking means there's making some kind of build-up of change.
I think sports sometimes, it always reflects the culture. Sometimes it's leading edge, sometimes it trails. In this case, I think it trails changes we've seen in other areas, but there's no question it is such a different landscape in the professional sports locker rooms than it was a generation or two ago.
What's been the reaction from fans to seeing athletes talk about something other than the game and talking about social issues?
Well, it's been at NFL Media Day fascinating to see. We're talking to both Brendan and to Matt Burke, and Both of them said, by the way, can we talk about this after the week is over?
Yeah.
But I think, fans, I don't think Brendan would say he's had a hard time or Burke's had a hard time from the fans. I think there's also an acceptance now that athletes, like everyone else, have opinions and want to speak out.
All right, Jim Axelrod, thank you.